Hello guys, Troy here. Now that the Boruto manga is finally chasing the prophecy of Kawaki going rogue, I would like to go at the idea of Mitsuki's involvement with Kawaki leaving the village. Now we see in a minor flash forward that Mitsuki, Sarada, and Shikadai's squad, along with some Leaf Jonin, are all surrounding him and in combat with one foe. Firstly, I would like to debunk the theories that this is Boruto that they're surrounding. In the most recent chapter of Boruto, Kawaki has slashed Boruto's eye. He gets pulled up on by Sasuke, Shikamaru, and Mitsuki. They all kind of subdue him so he can't shrink and he also can't absorb ninjutsu. Boruto is standing there bleeding and everyone seems to want to kill Kawaki or at least take him at imprisonment. Mitsuki is very mad. Sasuke has a blade to his throat. Boruto is the only one bleeding. Momoshiki takes over, absorbs the shadow paralysis, and tells Kawaki to run away. Now, while Momo did take over momentarily, we see at the end of the chapter, Boruto regains consciousness and passes out, and Kawaki is on the run. That is the reason I don't think they are fighting Boruto, as Kawaki is the one running away and they have to chase him. Now that we got that out of the way, right? Mitsuki in this flash forward is in Sage mode and Sarada has a Sharingan active, so we know for sure they are in combat, as Sage mode uses a bunch of chakra and just having the Sharingan on for no reason. Uchiha don't do that. We see that in a recent chapter as well. Sasuke doesn't have a Sharingan active, and Sarada, while she is chasing Kawaki and Boruto, she also does not have her Sharingan active, as she is under a lot of stress with the current situation and she doesn't really know what to think right now. Now, what's also important is a little bit of dialogue that we get from Mitsuki. Mitsuki basically says something along the lines of, "You have truly angered me this time." And he also says, Shikadai says, "How could you do this to a friend?" Right? We know further evidence that this is not Boruto, because Mitsuki basically lives for Boruto. He wants to protect Boruto. He's his diehard #1 fan, right? And Shikadai, he assumes that Kawaki and Boruto are friends. They're on the same team. They live in the same house, for God's sakes. And they know it would be out of character for Boruto to just attack a friend. And Boruto's currently unconscious. So, further evidence for this being Kawaki, almost 100% confirmed. The only further confirmation we could have is if we seen him. Now, in this most recent chapter, Mitsuki gets a death stare right at the end of the chapter. He's staring off, and he's basically very angry that Kawaki has slashed Boruto's good eye and that he's taken a run from the village. He's also shrunk out of Mitsuki's hand, because Mitsuki stretched his hand to subdue Kawaki further. He stretched out of that, or shrunk out of that, I should say, and now has ran away from the village. That is what the death stare is for, and this Sage mode, I assume, is immediately following this death stare, or a little bit ahead, probably a couple minutes. Now that we've gotten all of the pre-video mess out the way, we can get into how strong is Sage mode Mitsuki. Well, we know Sage mode puts a lot of strain on Mitsuki's body, as stated by Orochimaru in I think chapter 3.5 of the Boruto manga. That's why he doesn't really use it, or he's kind of forbidden from using it, and he had to go through this whole memory wiping sequence 3 times, I believe, in order to even fully control it. But after this, once he awakens the actual form of Sage mode and has these ethereal snakes all around him, Orochimaru notes that, or log notes that, Mitsuki's power surpasses Orochimaru himself. Now with that, you're probably asking, how does that matter to anything in the video? How does that matter to Kawaki? How does that matter to Boruto? How does that matter to the video at all? Well, if he does truly surpass Orochimaru, we see in the Orochimaru episodes within the anime, even though I don't think these are canon to the manga, this is just extra information. Orochimaru is very strong. He can destroy false god trees, he can fight Kara Inners, and he also almost nigh disintegrate people with the blink of the eye. He now has control over every jutsu in his arsenal. He has his hands and nigh perfect regeneration as well, as we see in the anime. In the Shin novel, we also see that Naruto has to activate Sage mode in order to kind of be safe when around Orochimaru's hideout. So this still kind of points to Orochimaru being some kind of threat, as he has a new body, and in a Boruto era, if he's still doing experiments and training, he should be far stronger than what we've seen in the war arc, now with a healthy body at least. Him creating Shin also should kind of speak to his power, as Shin is someone who can swap hands and box with adult Sakura. Adult Sakura should be along the levels of some Hokage or Kage. She's still a part of Team 7 and one of the hard hitters of the Leaf Village. So him being around or way above that level, as I believe, should speak to his involvement, or how Mitsuki is going to be involved within this new arc just for itself. Now, I'm not saying Orochimaru is as strong as pre-nerf Naruto or as strong as pre-nerf Sasuke, but he's definitely not that far behind, especially how he has the perfect regeneration like I mentioned prior. Mitsuki's power to go into Sage mode, while it is around these levels or surpass these levels of Orochimaru, like I said, he can't really sustain this form for that long. It kind of destroys his body. So if he were to harness and conjure up this power in a battle against Kawasaki, while I think it would do major damage to Kawasaki, as I don't think he's up there with the levels of Orochimaru currently, I don't think he would last that long. I think Kawasaki would overcome him pretty quickly, pretty swiftly actually, if he even does damage. And I think that will probably be the end of Mitsuki for a while. Maybe he'll be gravely injured with the Sage mode breaking down his body and Kawasaki putting a beating on him. Now, an alternative route that this fight could go is he just comes in, all of his abilities are meaningless as they could be shrunken, like his ethereal snakes and snake lightning. They also can be absorbed via karma. The cubes also could do heavy damage, and the rods draining his Sage mode chakra within every second. Kawaki could just come in and utterly destroy him. I'm talking about one shot. Kawaki just steps in, rage beams him, blows him up, or just beats him up with scientific ninja tool enhanced arms. And Mitsuki doesn't amount to anything, right? People will say, oh, that will kill the hype. It would be no reason to have this form if he just gets in and gets beat up. Well, no, that's not the case, or that's not necessarily the case, because Kawasaki, if he does this to someone hyped up throughout all of the manga, that this power destroys his physical body, the physical body of someone who can already go toe-to-toe with base Boruto, then that would just speak to Kawashiki's power. And now we will realize how much of a threat he truly is. As far as Sarada putting in or up a much of a fight against Kawasaki, without her Chidori, I highly doubt that she'll be in the right mindscape or have the speed to combat with Kawasaki, someone who can fight fuse Momoshiki's power inside of Borushiki. So she probably won't be that much aid unless she uses like some weird outsmarting tactics or Chidori. With that being said, Mitsuki definitely is the hardest hitter, at least out of the 3 children squads we see. Now in the flash forward, Sasuke or Shikamaru is nowhere to be found. You might say, oh, Kawasaki probably killed them. The only person whose death is kinda implied is Sasuke's, and if he kills Shikamaru too, then the Leaf will literally just have no one to run it, or no one with the brains to handle running a village of that size. So if Kawasaki does truly kill Sasuke, that will kinda explain why Sarada might get the Mangekyo Sharingan and be up there with Mitsuki. Because of some early sketches alongside Sage Mode Mitsuki, there is a Mangekyo Sharingan Sarada. So Kishimoto clearly does have the idea or want to give Sasuke, or Sarada I mean, the Mangekyo Sharingan. Now as far as Boruto goes, I'm not sure where Boruto is. He might still be unconscious, or he might be preparing to fight Kawaki as well. Momoshiki does say, while he's in control of Boruto's body, you want to kill me, right? So run away. You know, you can't die right now. The prophecy still has to be fulfilled. Another route I kind of see this fight going is, if Boruto is conscious, would Momo team up with Mitsuki and Sarada against Kawaki? Kawaki seems to have fresh blood on his face, like I said in the flash forward. Momo also doesn't seem like the person to team up with Leaf Shinobi, even though he kind of pseudo teamed up with Code. Wasn't really a team up, but he was more or less saying it's easier to kill the Hokage if you are here. But he doesn't seem like the type to team up with the good guys, no matter for what. He doesn't want to kill Kawaki. He more or less wants to feed Kawaki to the Ten Tails in order to genetically upgrade via a chakra fruit. Now for the people who had the theories that maybe this is Boruto fighting everyone in the Leaf Village and Kawaki has already left. If we were to entertain this theory, I would say, and say what if this was Boruto, then would Mitsuki even win against Boruto? True Essence and Borushiki, I definitely think not, as these are people who can fight Code and Kawashiki. So if he's already fighting people like Kawashiki, and I don't think Mitsuki stands much of a chance against Kawashiki or Code, then Boruto would likely do the same thing they would do. Boruto also has much more destructive techniques than Code and Kawashiki. He has massive Rasengans, and vanishing Rasengans. He also has lightning style to match his lightning style and water style, along with wind style. So I doubt that the fight would go anywhere near it would go if Mitsuki fought like some random Jonin. And Mitsuki himself, his love for Boruto, I'm not sure if he would even be able to kill Boruto. Like, let's say hypothetically he got Boruto on the ground and gravely injured him. Would he be able to finish the job? I don't think so. As stated in chapter 3.5, Boruto is like Mitsuki's son, right? He is son, I mean in the star sense, not like his child, but he is everything to Mitsuki. Mitsuki basically does everything for Boruto in a weird kind of bond type of way. So I don't think he would have the heart to kill Boruto, but Kawaki, that's a different story. Now, some interesting things I thought about post-fight was, if Sage Mode truly does mess up Mitsuki's body with extended use, and he's fighting a foe as strong as Kawashiki, would he have to go back to Oro for like genetic upgrades or genetic restructuring, because Kawashiki kind of beat him up too badly, along with Sage Mode deteriorating his body? If we do see this, we can most likely see like time skip Mitsuki having way more techniques and far stronger if he trains with like his parent Orochimaru. Orochimaru can teach him how to regen. He can teach him all of the countless jutsu he knows. Maybe he'll go to like Ryuchi Cave to learn more about his Sage Mode as well. That's more along the lines of like fan theory type shit. So I wouldn't say the story is going that way, but I would hope that that's what happened, because everyone post time skip seems to have some big upgrade. Boruto gets his slash and now he can make giant Rasengans, and in time skip he most likely has like mastery over true essence. As stated in one of the recent chapters, after becoming 100% Otsutsuki, he feels as if he can harness Momoshiki's power far greater. Kawashiki the same, as his karma is purely the form of a weapon now, so maybe he'll weaponize his karma more and get more upgrades. Sarada, the only thing I can see coming for her upgrade in the time skip is maybe Sasuke dies and she unlocks the Mangekyo, or maybe she trains with Sasuke and Sakura to get the Byakugo seal and some upgrades to just her normal Sharingan. Other than that, I doubt Shikadai's squad could even do something to Kawaki or aid Mitsuki in the fight at all. It'll most likely just be a Mitsuki 1v1, because Shikadai, Chocho, and Inojin are nowhere near the power that Boruto and Kawashiki are. They have been training in the background, as we see in one of the recent chapters, but I doubt that will be enough to overcome just the massive difference that karma makes. Other than that, that's pretty much it on the theories and fighting side of the video. I'm also kind of interested in how Boruto would react if he finds out Kawashiki almost killed Mitsuki. It'll be like the final nail in the coffin to where Kawashiki is kind of irredeemable at this point. He's already slashed Boruto's eyes, sealed his parents, now attacking his friends and family, or family even more, would just be the final nail in the coffin. I believe he would be truly irredeemable after that point, and there is no saving him like they saved Sasuke. With that being said, that's the end of the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and goodbye.